fasting, praying and acting with acts of charity. That it is a blessing on our community and for all the images that have appeared on my phone. I'm not sure that any have given me as much hope as one I saw today in the rubble. It's not the first time I've seen Palestinian rubble, and last year wasn't the first time either. I've been in the West Bank and sat with families whose homes had been reduced by rubble when bulldozers had arrived with the IDF in the middle of the night. But the scale of the rubble now is like nothing that we've seen. But that image that went around today was of a family in the rubble breaking the fast. Breaking the fast and showing that great truth that when injustice is at its greatest, faith is at its strongest. For everything that the world is facing right now, please know for your representatives that what you might see in public is a fraction of what is happening. Also know that every image you see are images that are being presented to us. And also know, while I would love to use the word Mubarak right now, I can only use the word Kareem. Ramadan Kareem. May this please be a blessed time, because I can't think of many times in history when the world has needed that blessing so much.
I now present to you another close friend to our community, the Minister for Education, Federal Member for Blaxland. Please welcome the Honourable Jason Clare to the stage.
Salam alaikum. Haj Mohammed, thank you for the invitation to be here tonight. On behalf of all of the members of Parliament, federal, state and local, we feel collectively it is a very special privilege to be invited to break the fast with you and members of the ICPA board. And so on behalf of all of us, thank you. I've been invited to this iftar now for I think maybe 16 years. And on many occasions I've had the privilege to speak at this microphone. On all of those occasions, I would try to remind us that Ramadan is not just the holiest month of the year for Australian Muslims, but that it's an important month of the year for all Australians. Because it's a month where it's an opportunity for all Australians to learn a little bit more about their Muslim brothers and sisters, their next door neighbours. Tony's right, this year's different. And in a sense, this year it's more important that Australians understand a little bit more about their Muslim brothers and sisters than ever. That they understand their grief and their pain and their frustration and their anger. And that all Australians get a little better understanding about the suffering and the killing that's happening on the other side of the world. At my house tonight in Bankstown, hopefully my two little boys have had their bath and their grandparents are putting them to sleep. And they'll sleep safely in their bed tonight. Tonight in Gaza, there'll be parents who will pull out black texters and write the names of their children on their children's feet, so that if they are killed tomorrow, they can be identified. For most Australians, that's hard to believe, but it's the truth. And it should tell us that we need a little bit more compassion and understanding in this world. But not just that. as you put it right. We need an end to the killing and an end to the suffering and an end to the starvation. We need food and medicine to get to the people of Gaza. We need hostages returned, and we need an end to the occupation. We need two states, two countries, two peoples living side by side next to each other in peace, enjoying the safety and security and lives that we take for granted here in Australia. So this Ramadan, let that be our prayer. Thank you again for the privilege to break the fast with you tonight. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Ramadan Kareem.
Not much is needed to introduce the next speaker. He's well known to us all. I now welcome to the stage the member for Bankstown, Minister for Customer Service and Digital Government, Minister for Emergency Services, and Minister for Youth, Justice, representing Premier Chris Means, the Honourable Jihad Dib.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's going to be a pretty somber speech, so that was a bloke that looked like me 5 years ago. If you're thinking about going into politics, that's the before, this is the after. So if this is what you want, go into politics. I just needed a little bit lighten up just for a minute, and I can say حاج محمد والشيخ شفاعي والكل اللي هون متشكركم كثير. I just thank the Mashaykh and ICPA for tonight. Like Jason, I've been here for many, many years, but what was a speech originally that was prepared in terms of representing the Premier is completely different to what I'm going to say now. What we've just seen, if that didn't move you and it didn't bring tears to your eyes or break to your heart, then I think you need to check your humanity. Because what we saw is images that we've been seeing for a long time, but that we're just starting to see them more and more. This Ramadan is the most difficult Ramadan. I spoke about it in Parliament a couple of nights ago, where I said that normally I would say happy Ramadan, but there's nothing joyous about this Ramadan. Ramadan is a time of compassion, of hope, of caring. We still have the compassion, and we still hope for everything that could change what's happening in Gaza. And we still have the compassion, but it's also a time for humanity, and humanity all around the world that actually sees what's going on and says, this is completely wrong. This is completely wrong. There is a collective punishment inflicted on the people of Gaza right now. It is wrong. There are people who will not know if they're going to die from a missile strike, from hunger, or from illness. It is completely wrong. There are people who are breaking their fast on anything they can find, even if it's just boiled water with some sort of grass element. It's wrong. That's wrong. And there's the acceptance of that. And we can jump up and down as much as we can, but right now in this holiest of months, what we need to do is to pray and to say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala find these holiest of times and create that peace that we know that only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can. Because every single time we see an image of a mother who's burying her child, that could be one of us. Or we see the young children, that could be one of us. There was the young boy that really then broke the heart, who said that he picked up, there were 3 bombs, if you remember part of the video, he said there were 3 bombs that went off next to him. And he picked bodies himself. And one of the bodies was decapitated. That boy looked no older than maybe 10 or 11. When I was 10 or 11, that was the last thing I was thinking about. I was thinking about what bike I was going to ride, where I was going to play marbles with. I was thinking about what my next bit of fun was going to be. These children have not had that. Or the story of 6-year-old Hind, that many of you would know, who was caught in a car and was calling, waiting for the ambulance when the ambulance was hit with a missile. And they found her body 2 weeks afterwards. She had nothing to do with terrorism. She was not a problem in any way. This was a 6-year-old girl. And we need to remember that. So, of course, as every single person here would say to you, there are many of us who are working incredibly hard to try and make sure that these stories are being told. Trying to make sure that we also don't forget that there are 31,000 people, and over 15,000 of those being children, who are being killed. Not dead, they're being killed. And we need to remember that. And we'll continue working as government to achieve the best outcome that we can achieve, to make sure that they are not lost in vain, and to make sure that, inshallah, for the people not only of Gaza and of all of Palestine, but all around the world, that there is a peace that resonates, because the world at the moment is not in a good space. It's not in a good way. And we are doing everything that we can. I give you my word of that. But ultimately tonight is a reminder to all of us to say Alhamdulillah, because Ramadan is also about saying Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah for what we have, because we might not be able to change everything, but we'll be grateful for what we have. What we have here, a friendship. We have here an iftar that's been put together by ICPA. This is, I think, the 30th year that brings people of different faith, of different cultures, from different political parties, of different community groups. And it says, this is what modern Australia looks like. And modern Australia looks like this. Modern Australia is an Australia where everybody cares for one another, everybody hurts with one another, and everyone understands the pain that people are going through. So yes, the Muslim community and the non-Muslim community is feeling pain at this time. Pain because we know that what is happening is an injustice to the people of Gaza. So this Ramadan, I join with you, and inshallah with everybody, in praying for the resolution, in praying for peace and justice and the two-state solution, so that we don't see images that we're seeing here. No 10-year-old boy should ever have to pick up a body of someone who's being decapitated. That's not human. We need to remember those images. We need to make the changes wherever we can. So Ramadan, I will say Ramadan Mubarak, because it is a Shahr Mubarak. It is a special month. They are in our hearts. They are in our thoughts. They are in our prayers. And all we can say is, inshallah, things are brought to ease, and there is peace and justice throughout the world. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
The night would not be more inclusive without a word from the opposition. Let us welcome to the stage the New South Wales Leader of the Opposition, the Honourable Mark Speakman.
Assalamu alaikum, Ramadan Kareem. It's a great privilege to stand before you tonight, surrounded by the warmth and unity that defines the spirit of the Islamic Charity Project Association as we gather for its 30th annual Ramadan dinner. Ramadan is not merely a time of fasting and reflection. It fosters compassion, self-discipline, and a deepened religious connection. And in the embrace of this holy month, Muslims find a unique opportunity to renew commitment to charity, to uplift those in need, and to strengthen the bonds of community. The Islamic Charity Project Association has been a shining beacon of hope and compassion for 3 decades, tirelessly working towards the betterment of the local community and embodying the true essence of Islamic teachings. Your dedication to charitable projects, community outreach, and humanitarian efforts is a testament to the principles of empathy, justice, and kindness that lie at the heart of Islam. And I acknowledge and thank President Haj Mohammed Maher and Dr. Sheikh Ibrahim El Shafi of the Darul Fatwa Islamic High Council of Australia.